Alright guys, welcome to another video again. As you can see guys, I'm kind of on a roll, but that's because I want to get the videos out there before I get caught up with other stuff or before I don't have the time to do so. So I'm sure a lot of you guys saw the caption. What's so weird is that I decided to make this video because of a story time that I saw someone did on TikTok. So this girl was sharing her story how at 19 she dated a 35-year-old guy for many years and all the stuff he did to her. What's funny about that is I too have a similar story and I can relate to almost everything that she said. So I decided to share my story as well because I too went through something almost exactly the way she explained her situation. So anyways, forgive me if I'm all over the place because there's a lot to this story and I'm just gonna try to put it together the best way I can. So when I was 19, I had already had a son. I had a baby. If a lot of you guys watch my other videos, you know that I had a baby at 19. I already had a baby. I was in a relationship with my son's father. That was very toxic and it wasn't going anywhere. So I left that relationship, went back to stay with my mom because when I had gotten pregnant, my mom put me outside. When I got pregnant, my mom gave me an ultimatum. She told me to have an abortion or I had to leave. I did not have an abortion and she threw me outside. Okay, fast forward. I did fix things with my mom after the fact, so that's not the main topic right now, but I'm just giving you guys a little bit of backstory. So I was living with my son's father. It wasn't going too well, so I left and I went back to my mom. At this time, I had baby the September and I got a job with a government company the December. Like I said, I was 19, I was young. While it was a good job, it wasn't paying me much because it was my first little job, and while it was a government company and I was excited to take on this new venture, it wasn't doing a lot for me, but I had a child to take care of. So I had a child to take care of. I had my mom who's depending on me. So I just cut right to the chase. Anyways, I still used to kind of go back and forth to my son's father's house to go to work because it was closer for me versus where my mom was. However, like I said, it was a very hectic situation. It was draining me out. It was just crazy. I used to go to work every single day complaining, crying, depressed and stressed. Long story short, one of the managers that worked there, one day I came to work, let's just get into it, and I was crying and he asked me what was going on, and I don't know, I just started spilling everything that I was going through because it was just too much. It was just a lot. Anyways, ever since that day he started like looking out for me, like we became friends, we were just genuinely friends at that point, nothing else, just friends. But because he knew that I had a baby and that I was in this toxic relationship and that things wasn't really going well the way I wanted it to, he would look out for me. Like after about 3 months of us being friends, he would he would give me money to help to buy like diapers, food, even help me to pay my rent. It would help me to do stuff for myself and for my son and even for my mom. I'm just being honest. I'm just trying to fast forward the whole situation, the video, so I can not make it too long. So he would do stuff for me. And of course, like I said, we weren't in a relationship at that point, but we were really good friends. And I appreciate it as well because like I said, even though I was working, it was not much and I really needed the help. Anyways, long story short, again, after about 6 months of doing that, we started dating. No, at the time, mind you, like I said, he's a manager at the job that I work at. He makes more money than I do. I needed the help. Um, he told me that he just separated from his relationship because the lady had cheated and they were not getting along. But he would still do stuff for her and her kids because they were together for over 8, 9 years, I believe, at the time. Me being young, dumb, naive, desperate, needing help, of course, I believed the story. And at the same time, I was telling him my truth. So in my mind, I don't think he had a reason to lie to me. So of course, I believed everything that he was saying. At that time, he was 19, I was 37. Basically, I was being manipulated by a grown man, but I had no idea that was going on at the time. Anyways, like I said, I'm so stuffy. Anyways, like I said, um, that was 6 months later we started dating. No, this person is doing everything for me. My rent is being paid, my child is taken care of, I get every single thing that I need. At this point, when I work my money, I can do whatever I want with it because he's taking care of everything. Who wouldn't want that? So of course, I think that was one of the things that he used to blindside me with everything else that was going on. Because mind you, this person was cheating on me from the first day we started a relationship to the very last day that I ended the relationship. Um, this relationship lasted for 11 years. So no, it wasn't no sugar daddy. It wasn't a fling. It wasn't no situationship. It's an actual relationship. Just accept the fact that we started when I was 19. He was 37. So before you come at me with all kind of bad comments, it was an actual relationship. Anyways, so yeah, it lasted for 11 years and it was 11 years of misery. No, no, don't get me wrong. Clearly, like I stated, this person did a lot for me. So yes, they did good for me as well. But I just feel like over the years, the bad outweighs the good anyways, because I was left damaged, traumatized, and scarred with all of the things that I went through with this person because I was young, looking for guidance. I didn't have a relationship with my father. My father was in and out of my life. And because I was with this person for over a few years, I felt like this was my best friend. I also looked to this person like a father figure, I guess. I thought this person had my best interest at heart. However, I would hear stuff that he was doing behind my back. People he was with, other people he was having sex with, other people he was taking care of. I would hear of other kids that he had throughout the relationship. And I'm saying all of this to say that I remember days when I would complain about stuff that he was doing to me. He was verbally abusive, he was emotionally abusive, and when I complained about stuff, he would just say to me, well, you have a choice, you could go, and I'm sure you're not going to go because nobody else is going to do for you what I'm doing, which was probably true at the time. And I would just cry about the situation and I would stay. I'm being honest. A lot of people would be like, why don't you just leave, right? Because it's easier said than done. At this time, I'm with this person for how many years? They're doing almost everything for me. Financially, I was not able to manage on my own, so I had to come up with a plan, especially the fact that I had a child. Um, and like I said, the relationship was not the best with my son's father, so that wasn't even an option. So I stayed in that relationship for 11 years while this person cheated, emotionally and verbally abused me, among other things. I remember at one point we moved to a new house because I don't remember what the reason was, but anyways, we moved to a new house, and one day I got a phone call. No, I got a text message, and this girl was just sending me pictures of videos of her naked inside my house with this person that I'm supposedly in a relationship with. Long story short, I had went away for about a week to visit my mom, and he brought the girl to the house. She stayed there for a whole week. They had sex inside of the house, whatever the case may be. I later found out that this person was also his co-worker as well, because at that point I had stopped working at the job, but he was still working there, because I told you guys he's a manager there. Eventually I had stopped working there because it didn't really make sense for me to work. Well, he thought it didn't make any sense because I was barely making money and he was doing everything. So I was home taking care of my baby while he was at work dating everybody. I found out he was dating her. She would constantly call and text my phone, harass me all the time. I remember one time she took his phone and she put herself as his DP and WhatsApp. He didn't realize that she did that, and he was there for days because he barely used WhatsApp. And when I confronted him about it, he told me, "Oh, that's just my friend," not knowing that I already had all the receipts and everything that the girl had sent me to show me that they were in a full-blown relationship. There was this other girl that he was in a relationship for over 4 years while being in a relationship with me as well. I remember one night this person had me iron his clothes, clean his shoes to go out on a date with this other woman, and told me that he was going to some bar with his friends or whatever the case may be. And the girl kept calling the phone because she was wondering why he was taking so long. And he was in the bathroom having a shower, and she sent a text message, and when I went to read the text message was when I realized that he was actually going out with another female after having me press the clothes and clean the shoes and stuff like that. And when I confronted him about it, he told me, "Well, nobody's holding you hostage. You have a choice. You can go, or you can go to your mom, or whatever the case may be. You can do whatever you want to do because I'm still going," which he did. The thing about this was though, I felt like I said, I felt like I was being manipulated, because there were times when I thought that it was just too much, and I would pack my stuff and go to my mom's house, and he would come back for me, and I would go back, and I would leave again, and he would come back, and that happened for 11 years. I've left about 3 or 4 times and went back, so clearly I did not leave like permanently leave. So this person took me for a joke, because he knew that I was never going anywhere. Well, in his mind, I was never going anywhere, so I can just do whatever I want to do with this person, because she's not going to move. She's not going to go anywhere, because without me, she's nothing, is basically what he was telling himself, I guess. Well, he told me that. He was like, "Well, I do everything. I'm providing this life that you're not able to provide, and without all of this, you're basically just gonna suffer. So I know you're not going anywhere," right? And I believed that. I actually put that in my head, and I believed that because I wasn't able to do much for myself, and I wanted to provide this life for my son, because I didn't want my child to go through what I went through as a kid. So I felt like it was my job and my duty to ensure that he did not lack or wanted for anything, or go through none of the stuff that I went through. So I stuck it out. What's funny though, like I said, there's so much more to this story, but I don't want to make it too long for you guys. What's funny about this story though is that I end up having the last laugh. Because I left this relationship when this person least expected me to. I would suggest we go to counseling. I would cry about the situation. I would ask this person to change. I would try to do so many things, and they would not give a shit, because he has his money. I'm not going anywhere, and he just felt like he was God. Long story short, one day I moved out. One day I moved out when he was at work, and when he got home, he came home to an empty place. He called me. He didn't take it serious, because like I said, he's used to me leaving and coming back, and basically he just thinks I'm a clown. So, but what he didn't know was that this time the move was permanent. I was done. I was done. And what's so funny about this is that even though I left and I was done, when he finally realized that I was not coming back, I remember one of my friends called me and she was like, "Oh my God, Jody, no, you have to give him another chance." This person lost like almost 30 pounds in a month when he realized that it was really done and over with and that I was serious. Because I guess when you get used to a certain situation, you just don't think it's going to ever change. And I'm one of the person that I'm the type of person where I do things when you least expect it. So you'll do stuff to me over and over and over, and I'll walk away from you at the point when you did nothing to me, when you're not expecting it. That's the kind of person I am. So I guess that's the part that shocked him, because he did not see it coming. And a part of me felt bad. A part of me also felt bad for leaving when I heard what he was going through, how he was looking. When I heard that he ended up in the hospital from not eating and all kind of stuff, a part of me actually felt bad about what I did, even though I was the one that was being abused for years. But on the other hand, I was like, Jody, you have to be tough about the situation, because if you go back, nothing is going to change. And I held on. I blocked this person. I left my mother's house and went somewhere else, because I know that he would constantly come there to beg me to come back. So you know how they would say you have to go no contact when you want to get rid of somebody or you want to leave a relationship? I had to find a way to get no contact to truly ended this relationship, because I didn't want any reason to be pulled back into this person because of me being sorry for them or whatever the case may be. So that's how I actually came out of the relationship, by leaving, staying away, and holding on to the fact that I said that no matter what the situation is, I'm not going back, I'm not looking back. And I it was hard. It was hard. I struggled for a bit, because then I had to go fight life for myself, and that's not what I used to, what I was used to. But I had to do what I have to do for my own peace and sanity, and for this person to take me seriously, because I guess all this time they just saw me as a joke. So here I am today in a much better situation. But it just touched me somewhat when I saw the girl sharing her story today. Like, it actually made me cry. And that's why I decided to come and share my story with you guys. So please like the video, comment if you have any feedback, and let me know what you guys think. Have a great day, guys. Mwah.